Hello. Hi, everybody. Romeo says, I love you. Romeo, I love you too. What do you have to say down there, big boy? Hmm? What, Rome? What did you say? Got him out here today. I'm not sure about next time. He's the one I have to give injections to for sure. So we'll see if he'll come out because when he sees me coming at him with a needle, hey, don't eat my leg. I've got someone else down here wants to get attention, a KK bird. Hi, KK. Hi, Rome. I love you too.
Sweet pie. So hello and welcome, everybody.
Hey, welcome to Cockatoos. Cockatoos with attitude.
I
That's my
think
hedger.
StreamYard annoyed Don so hard today that he not even has chosen a movie quote.
I did. It isn't showing up as typical. You have to go and click it again.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Yeah, we have a movie quote. Excellent. And we also have chatters. We have Rosebud Atkins is with us saying hello, Flock. Then Tiki Tiki, Spirit Matter, and Pie Girl. So hello and welcome, everybody. Rosebud also wants to know how is George and Kiki?
George is going fine. He hasn't called me George since then, so George of the jungle, that's me, right? Watch out for that tree. I know. I'm trying to switch the camera. You guys, they're just all over me today, these guys. Oh, now it didn't. It's getting weird about switching the camera too. They improved our software on StreamYard, so look for problems. Took me 5 tries to get in. That's the first problem. So
It did. I was already in the conference room and was seeing Dawn in, Dawn out, Dawn in, Dawn out. And I was like, okay, it's not working again.
yeah, that's the thing. When they say it's like Microsoft saying, we've got an update for you. Oh boy. Yeah, better make sure I got the number to my computer guy.
Mhm. So
I noticed
Falcons also joined us. Welcome.
hey, Falcon Sue. Yeah, there's a new protocol that's built on Dr. Dalhousen's work by a guy named Rossi and his team in Italy. He's quite a proficient studier of this kind of exotic disease. So it looks quite promising, although we probably won't get the full protocol here in the US. But we'll go through that. I think I can explain it in such a way where you can get it. And maybe you'll also understand AGN a little better. Okay, that's the back of my head. You can't eat it. Romeo, no chewing on my head. He wants my attention, so he's. Don't you want my attention? So you're going to chew on the back of my head? I know. I know how you are. I know how you are. He's kind of like Sugar. He's afraid to step over on me. Sugar isn't afraid. She just doesn't do it. Romeo's He's afraid. He's another one, it has to get the injections. So he's going to, he's too advanced in the disease to give
Be
an oral.
careful. Snowball is thinking, oh no, he is thinking about coming down, but he sees
Yeah.
Romeo.
Well, that's why he's coming over. He's been trying to make friends with Romeo.
Yeah,
So,
probably, but I just want
no,
to warn you, not that you get some kind of beak in the eye or so, or your tongue pierced.
no, well, won't be the first time I've had a piercing, that's for sure.
No,
Snowball, I
Snowball is
know.
a nice guy. He wants to be friend with Romeo. He just sees another male umbrella who is also not that of a wild guy. So, and umbrellas just love usually to pile up.
They do. Romeo's not like that, and I think it's because of a number of factors. The fact that he's missing four important feathers, but he's also got
Mhm.
AGN. So you need to leave him alone, or I won't be able to do anything but stop you from going over there. Because I can't have you going over to irritate Romeo. You don't mean to, of course, but no,
So
this
we
is
have
a
Calvin
sweet
Thurston
boy.
joining us in chat. So saying, hey, everybody. Hello, Calvin.
Hello,
And Pie
Calvin.
Girl is saying Dahlhausen leased the test from Rossi.
What's that?
Dahlhausen leased the test from Rossi.
Okay, I don't know that, but uh, uh, what I have no idea what's going on there. I know that they're both working. Well, they were both working on the same thing. That's all I can tell you. Rossi's his protocols are similar but a little different. That's interesting. Though I'll look into that. I hadn't looked at where the source of the test. I just knew that the test was only available through molecular dynamics, which was Dahlhausen's company. And if it's available in Europe, I don't know. There's someone else I know in Europe who can't get the test there. So, but I'll look into it because if that's the case, then maybe this one person who needs to get that testing done can get it done. So, thanks for the info. But anyway, Rossi's protocol is a little different, and I'm going to try to if these guys will give me a minute today, which I'm not sure about, because they're all kind of on me today. Come on, switch. There we go. I've got sugar up here, and then Romeo just took off. So I don't know where Snowball went. There he is, right over my head. You gonna drop something on me there, kid? Okay, I've got paper. And I'm going to try to explain this in a, they say that you can set this so that it's going to be a landscape or portrait for each individual place where you're streaming. So I set it for landscape, but when I turn my phone, it tries to go to portrait. So obviously that's not working. So they've got some work to do here. I get to tell them I'm not happy with the changes. They're going to have to fix them before they should check them before they put them up. It's called beta testing. I wonder if they know what that means. But anyway, I'm going to try to describe AGN and the new protocol that may be available outside of the United States, but only part of it will be available here. Part of that is whether or not they'll let me use my watch where I wrote all this down. So we do have, we had about just under half of the flock. Well, actually, no, it's just a little more than half the flock has AGN. So probably due to the stress of that move we had to do. That probably was the key factor in causing the virus in their system to migrate down the nerve and irritate irritate the lining, which causes the autoimmune disease. But anyway, with if sugar will give me a moment here, and Cecil seems to be okay with just self preening at the moment. You gonna give me a moment, sugar? Okay, you have to imagine your body as a house. Okay, it's got to be a pretty complicated one with a lot of electrical wiring, old pipes, and maybe a few eccentric people in your attic. All right. Now imagine that one day the smoke alarms go off, not because of a fire in the kitchen, but because the system itself has gotten confused. Okay. So the system thinks there's a fire when there isn't one. So that's basically what happens with avian ganglioneuritis. Okay. So what happens is the virus is moving down the shaft of the neuron, the nerve in the body. It's moving down that shaft, and the shaft gets slightly irritated because of this, and then the body attacks it. So that's the false alarm, because that virus moving down that nerve is not going to damage the nerve at all. It irritates it a little bit, but it doesn't damage it. What comes along is the fire department that's going to, from the bot, from the that's in your house. The fire department comes in to put that fire out that isn't there, and in the process, it's damaging critical nerves in the body. That's what happens. Okay, so what Dalhousen's technique is to basically what you do is you put doors in front of. It's like you lock the door in front of the rooms where like the kitchen where the fake fire is. There really isn't a fire there. So you lock the doors to try to keep the firemen out. That's essentially what that protocol does. Okay, you're using a cockatoo blocker, and what that does is that it keeps the firemen from going in, right? So it stops them from hacking at the nerve. What Rossi's protocol does, and it seems to be working quite well, but there's a reason it can't be used in the US. But what he does is he introduces tuberculin, like getting a tuberculosis vaccination, a tiny amount of that into the bird's system somewhere. Well, that's a real fire. I mean, it's not going to hurt the bird, but it's a real fire. The body will see that as a real fire, and it's going to go and put it out. It's going to uh, create. It's going to stop making antibodies to go after the nervous system, and it's going to start attacking this bacteria that's attacking the system. Of course, tuberculin isn't going to hurt the bird because it's it's not an active virus that can hurt you. They obviously they wouldn't be giving you the vaccine if it could do that. So what that does is it takes all the firemen and sends them to the real fire where the kitchen is actually exploding in fire, right? Then in that process, while the firemen are fighting this real fire, you lock all the doors in front of the imitation fires, the rooms that have smoke in them, but there really isn't any fire. You lock all the doors. That's where you give these inhibitors. Okay, so when you lock those doors, you train the body then, because the body goes after the real fire, which is in this case the tuberculin, and also called BCG. But it goes after that, and while it's going after that, you lock the doors, and when it comes back to try to get in, it can't get in. So what you're doing is teaching the body to go after the real fires and to leave the nerves alone. Interesting protocol. They're having success with it there, but the problem is you'll never get the U.S. government to let these veterinarians have the tuberculin. They won't do it. I mean, I would be so surprised if they would. I mean, if everybody who owned a bird, sent a letter to the to the U.S. to their representatives, which they don't really represent us anyway, but maybe there was a chance you might get them to look into it, but I doubt it. It's this kind of stuff is created in a P2 lab. We have one P1 through 4. A P4 lab handles things like cancers, and the P2 lab handles things that could be dangerous. I mean, obviously, you don't want a tuberculosis uh, epidemic. So what I'm trying to do now, he did discover, Dr. Rossi discovered there's another receptor that should be blocked. It's a LOC5 receptor. And there is, here's the fun part. There is an actual prescription medicine that you can use. You could give the bird so that you could block that. The problem is it's not profitable. So these big rich people who are the CEOs of these health companies, they don't care. It's not profitable. They're not going to make it. So I'm going to be checking to see if I can find a compounding pharmacy because it can be compounded in a pharmacy. There are some that could do it. Um, I'm not that I don't trust those pharmacies that much, but if that's what that's a method we can look at. Um, if we could get that will help. Again, that's not going to set that real fire, so that you pull everything away and train the body not to go after the nerves. It's not going to do that. But what it will do is make it harder for those firemen to hack at the nerves, right?
We have a couple more years or chapters. Let's see that I find where I stopped. Jam and Jamie is here with us, and Reggie Cockatoo, as well as Lisa Banerjee. So, hello, good to see you all.
Hey,
Oh, Lisa
everybody.
is sad because of the bad news from Cecil. There's the Cecil. Lisa, your fan is there. Lisa is here, Cecil. And then
Easy.
we have our short question
Easy.
about ropes from Richie Cockatoo. How many millimeters are the diameter of the ropes?
You'll have to convert it. The rope here I have is because I don't have it in my head. It's either I've
I
got inch
already
and
saw it like something
I
crunching in one's mind, like
uh,
inch to millimeter, inch to
yeah.
millimeter.
I'm not doing that now, especially when I'm focused on AGN. But I have inch and a half, 1 inch, an inch and a quarter. Inch for these size birds, the inch and a half is the best. That's what they like the most. So that's what I buy if I need any more. I buy inch and a half. So I hope that makes some sense. The idea is that your body is going after smoke where there's no real fire. And so it thinks there's a fire, it attacks these firefighters are hacking into the nerves, right? They're hacking into the bird's electrical system basically in the house. And the trick is to block them from doing it. But even better than that is what Dr. Rossi has is where you not only do you block them from doing it, you send them to a real fire and train them to pay attention for that kind of thing and less attention to nerves like this. And what that does is it makes sure your body's the body of the bird, their immune system is working well. So it strengthens the immune system, but it also points it to the right places to use it. So in the US, we probably won't get that.
Short interruption. Um, how many inch wide?
Inch and a half.
1 inch and a half.
Yes.
Okay, I can also post it in chat again. Then Giselle Plant Based Vegan is with us, saying very interesting. And we also have Anna Heiser here from Facebook in the Facebook chat. Wants to know how do I sense stars? And it says that there should be a star icon in the comment section of a creator's video live or so, and they can select the amount of stars you want to send. So thanks for that. And we also got a support from Jem and Jamie. She just donated $20 to us. Thank you for the live stream, as she's saying. So thank you very much for that.
Oh, I'm trying to get to the video, but I have Romeo. Wait a minute. Oh, they made this now. It won't go. I can't get there.
Shall I?
I just had to switch my phone the other direction. They really screwed this up. But here we go. Yeah, thank you so much. I also noticed my phone is running kind of hot, so I hope that doesn't. That's because they made some changes that are obviously not done well. So they're overusing the. Hey, Romeo, try not to bite my hair.
One of the Moluccans is making the fan.
Romeo's eating my head. Hi, Rome.
Oh, more questions. Giselle would like to know what is
Hey.
the website, the online website where you buy your robes.
Nut and rope supply. I don't have the website URL right here, but it's nut and rope supply. That's the actual name of the company. So, and if you're going to put this rope in your house, just be aware that it's going to have an odor. It's made from a natural grass. Okay, manila rope is made from a grass, so it's going to have a grassy smell for a while. Just be aware of that.
Oh, one Mollucan has lost some tail feathers.
Beep. That's a jazz bird. She lost a tail feather.
Mm-hmm. And now it's
Uh,
begging. Next question from Pie Girl. What percentage of the flock is affected by AGN? Seems very high. I'm sorry.
We're talking 6 birds out of 10, or 6 birds out of 11. So, and it's probably not high. Most All you need to do to cause this is for the bird to have a virus in their system, which I think my guess is I can't, this is just a guess, but that all of them do have it. You can get, hey, no biting my arm. Um, he's not happy with Romeo over my head, so he's nipping at my arm. This little one
There's
back
not
here.
only Romeo over your head, or no, wait.
No, yeah, it's not
KK
Romeo.
now. It.
KK is having
Also,
his
half the
moment,
Moluccan
and
got merged.
yeah, I think that this Bornavirus has been around for thousands of years, and it's been in the flock, kind of like there are certain viruses that just and bacteria that are in the human body, which don't, which really do we don't notice. I mean, there are some people who get a disease that causes those things to do harm to them, but for the most part, they just live with us. And I think that's what the case is. And I think because of the stress of captivity, it's bringing out this autoimmune disease. That's my guess. Now, these guys were pretty well stressed when we had to move from Fallbrook to Marietta and live with, in that small space for 7 months. Okay, you calm down. Come here. Come here. Come here. Go sit over here. Calm down. Calm down. He's warning me these other birds are dangerous. Yes, they're dangerous, aren't they? Who's that bird? Who's that bird? That the KK bird in there? That is the KK? I think if you take most of the birds in sanctuaries or rescues and you tested them, you'd have probably about the same result. Any place that's dealing with stressed birds is going to have that. Our birds were pretty calm until we had to make that move. Um, their lungs were stressed at first because of the flood, and then we moved them into it. How you on my ear? Romeo. I've got two birds that are trying to protect me at the same time. Rom. And he won't come over and sit anywhere else. He's going to keep tapping me on the face. He's not hurting me. He's just tapping at me. Aren't you, buddy? Hmm? This may be your last time out. You may not come out with me next time. Come at him with a needle. He's probably not going to be too thrilled about coming out with me, but
Mm.
we'll see. I'll try to make it as stress stressless as possible and keep him calm. And then the next time I go to take him out at night, he may not want to come out, so I may have to towel him. And then at that point, we're talking about a bird that won't come out at all unless I towel him. But we'll try to not have that happen. Um, but what we know right now is that about 40% of the birds in captivity that have been tested, and the ones that have been tested, they show up with ABV, the avian bornavirus. The thing is, that virus doesn't shed all the time. Again, the problem with AGN is when that virus goes down through the nerve. It lives inside the brain, doesn't do anything. It just lives there. But when it gets stressed, it moves from the top of the neuron down the actual nerve and then spreads. Okay, and that's where the AGN comes from. So, oh, would you leave him alone? You're making him nervous. Come on, Snowball. Come on. Why don't you come down on my lap? Come here. But you're making him nervous. And then when he gets nervous, he taps me on the head. That's how it works. I love you too, Romeo.
So welcome, Jocelyn Brittle.
So these tests you have, these PCR tests to see if your bird has ABV, are nearly useless in my opinion. So what if they've got ABV? That just shows you it's shedding. What that test can show you is that your bird probably has AGN then if it's shedding, that virus. But there are other viruses that can cause it as well. Polyoma is another virus. So they may have some other virus that's dormant in their system that gets activated that can cause it. So when they test, they've been running birds through this test for bornavirus, which honestly, I mean, they've got a lot of birds that come back positive, and only about 10% are showing any signs of any kind of problem, that problem being AGN. So, Romeo, you're going to drive me crazy. I'm going to have 2.5 hours of being whacked in the head. Actually, no, they were out for an hour before, about an hour and a half more being whacked in the head. He's getting braver. That's why he's over here with me. Prior to this, he would stay at the ends of the aviary. Do not take my scabs off my arm. Hey,
Surrounded by
Romeo.
male umbrellas.
Yeah. Snowball's trying to take the spots off my arm. Romeo's trying to keep my attention to protect me from the other birds by pulling my hair out. And apparently KK agrees with that because he's got his head going up and down. I love you too, Romeo. You can stay over here because you probably won't give me much more attention after I give you your shot, which I will probably do that on the day I give Cecil his shot, which will be tomorrow. So I'll be doing 4 birds tomorrow with Monsieur. Lucy definitely needs a shot. Lauralei too. So sugar. Part of it is looking to see how they're digesting their food, because if they're digesting, I may be able to put them on another protocol. Now, I'm not going to go into specifically what I found out there, because it was through working with an AI to find substitutes that were acceptable, that will also do what's necessary, that are cockatoo blockers and a LOC5 blocker. And then the supportive therapy. He uses a blue green algae compound to get some important nutrients into their body, cofactors that you can't get from just plain minerals. And he also gives some mineral supplements. So I'll be starting all this protocol tomorrow. The ones that seem to be eating or digesting their food, the best ones are the ones that don't have AGN. They eat the best. Isn't that amazing how that works? Um, Hi, Rome, my baby, big boy. Um, so anyway, I found some over-the-counter supplements they're supposed to do well, that fill the blank. They actually have components that are necessary to fight the disease. But again, you're still dealing with how, you buy it from the best source you can. You make sure that you actually know how much you're giving them, how many milligrams, and you have to design it for their bodies. So I worked with an AI to come up with those. So I can't really pass that information on because I'm not a veterinarian. I'll pass this by our vet, but she's not an avian vet either. So, but I love you too, but the Onsior by itself is probably not enough from what I'm from the research. Romeo, you're going to come down and sit by me, or I'm going to move this chair a little bit. There we go. If he won't stop banging me in the head, you're going to stop whacking me in the head? You okay? Oh, I don't want you to be scared. I'll move the chair back. I don't want you to be scared. You look, no, it's all right. That's Cecil. He's not going to hurt you. That's a Cecil. Cecil's a good bird. He won't hurt you. All right. I got scared when I moved. So, yeah. So, what I'm doing now is it's going to be safe, but it's going to be experimental. So, I don't know. We'll see after a few months if it improves their condition. And we'll have to go by visible signs, because it's not cheap to get them tested when you're doing 11 birds. Actually, we only need to right now we only need to test 7. One, because the test didn't go through, we still have to redo KK. His test came back, the sample wasn't acceptable. So we don't know about him, but nobody's known about you for a long time, have they? Yeah, known about the KK bird. I love you too. It's in a way, it's like dealing with fatty liver disease. There are things you can give the bird, but you have to make sure that they don't have certain additives, and that they actually tell you how many milligrams per liter there are in the solution, that kind of thing. And I'm glad to have an AI there to help me with all of that because it can dig through what's available online and find the items that are safe. But we'll see, won't we? We don't know about you. You are an unknown. Hi, KK.
He has just such a happy face again.
Yeah, he's gotten a lot better. I wish Bob wouldn't have an issue with him. Bob just won't. I bring Bob out here and he will not take his eyes off of him.
Mm.
No, Snowball, leave him alone. No, Snowball, leave him alone. Snowball, don't bother him. Snowball wants to make friends, and
So
Romeo
cute.
doesn't. Romeo doesn't believe in friends. There are no such things. Romeo, you can make friends. Are you barking? Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty quiet bark.
Woof.
He's going bark, 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 ruff, 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 ruff.
So Pie Girl says, "So sorry you have to go through this with so many birds." And Giselle says, "AI is amazing in gathering info."
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It took the research I would have needed to do from 2 weeks down to about 3 hours. So you start looking for a particular combination of herbs that don't have additives, and you might find one, you might find the other, but they may not have actual. So sometimes they'll say they have um, a particular herb in there, but it won't tell you what the concentration of the key ingredient is. And that's the thing. You have to know that. Then you have to make sure it doesn't have alcohol, doesn't have any flavor enhancers. There's a whole bunch of things you have to have a checklist on. So unfortunately, I don't know who trained who. Either the I trained the AI or it trained me. But I've got it where it knows what I'm trying to do, and it's able to find products that will probably fit. So then I have to sit. When I was a kid, the kids in the neighborhood called me the mad scientist because I was the one that like mixed the wrong chemicals and started a fire in the garage, that kind of thing. Um, so I have to mix up certain concentrations of things, put them in brown bottles so that they aren't affected by light, keep them at a certain temperature. I mean, there's all this has to go on, and then replace them every 2 weeks. That kind of thing. Replace them. Make a solution, replace it in 2 weeks. Make a solution, replace it in 2 weeks. So, so I'll probably have the cops knocking on my door because I ordered a gram scale. That's kind of funny. I was looking for not just gram, but a microgram scale. That's the kind of thing.
Don is going Breaking Bad, huh?
Yeah. That's the kind of thing that drug dealers buy, right? So I look and I'm looking to see, the one that most people buy, and there's like 14,000 people bought this scale, and I'm going, and it's a portable microgram scale. I'm just laughing. Yeah, I know the kind of people who would buy this, but I
Mm.
need to be
And
able to weigh
then
things
buy
out.
thousands of tiny plastic bags.
Yeah. That's a big red flag when you buy something like that. But right now,
Yeah,
that's important. I need to be able to weigh these things out. So
Rosebud says you are on a list now.
I definitely am now.
I would say he has been there for a long time,
Yeah, one way or another, I'm on somebody's list.
probably.
Some of it's easy though because like, I was talking to ChatGPT about it, and we actually have a name for it. Call it Glyph is the name of ChatGPT, my personal agent, and it figures out the easiest way to do it. You want to make sure you get the full concentration from a capsule. Well, you empty the capsule and then you mix it up to get the solution, so that way you have the full potency of the capsule in your bottle, right? So, but then you have to reduce it to so that you can use a milliliter uh, syringe to get just the right amount. They'll be getting this like three different solutions like a day, anywhere from point 0.8 down to the smallest bird gets a point 0.4, I think, of the primary solution, and then there's two other solutions, and then there's stuff that has to be mixed into their water, which is the minerals. Um, can't mix much into their food because the ones that eat best are the ones that don't have the disease. So that makes a lot of sense, though. The ones that I can't even get a bird in the picture here. Gonna have to switch the camera angle. And you're sitting on my arm, you little toad. Oh, now you switch where I can put the camera back. That figures. There's the KK. Oh, you're gonna go over there now? Hello. So it's definitely gonna be mad scientist time mixing this stuff up. And it's funny that these things were just available over the counter, at least that actually have what you need in them, but they are. As long as the company that makes them, that's another thing. You got to make sure the lab is a certified lab and that they've got outside testing, right? So, because if they say that something's in there, it doesn't mean it is, and they may put other items in there too that don't show up. That's been shown in New York. They did the attorney general did a study on stuff from the shelf, and a lot of it had things in it they weren't supposed to have in there. Others didn't even have the product on the label, so it's got to be tested by a third lab. That's why AI comes in handy because it can check all that stuff. It can look at the labels. It can make sure that it can do that all online too. Yeah. Rat, rat, rat. What rat? What rat? A ratty bird? I think those were what you call cars that drove by. Yeah. They were cars. Yeah. I know they're unnatural. I know. Yeah. They got your attention, didn't they? Yes, they did. Rah, 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 rah. Rah, rah. I don't know if you guys can hear him or not. Probably not.
Nope, right
Yeah.
now we just can see him.
He's pretty loud right now. What are you doing? What are you doing? Rat, rat, rat. Rat, rat, rat. What rat? I don't see a rat. What rat? What rat? Oh, we're not going to start that now. No, 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 we're not doing that. No, Once in a while, he'll start and he won't stop. Come on. Come on. I don't want to put you up, so don't. No, you can't just sit out here and scream. No, can't do that. No, no, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that. We're not going to do it. No, I don't want to put you. I want to put you up. No, I don't. That's a good boy. Where are you going? Where are you going? No, you're not going to go up there, because if you go up there and start hanging on the aviary, you'll really let go. Yeah. Oh, there he goes. KK bird. Don't start screaming. Don't do it. No, no, you can bark, but don't scream. You silly boy. Cecil, what are you doing? Ah, loose. What? What are you barking at? So at the very least, we have an additional thing we can add in to block that LOC5 receptor. That's at the very least. Which, and we could actually have the drug if we didn't have these companies that only care about profit. Because there is actually a drug for that, but we haven't mentioned the movie. The movie quote. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go home and have a heart attack. I haven't seen anybody reacting to the movie quote yet. I can tell you it's probably one of the most popular movies. Even today, it's still watched quite a bit.
Falkency is suggesting Monty Python.
Nope. First
And
clue, it's a
Respa
clue.
says,
Go
oh,
ahead.
Vincent in question mark.
Vincent in question mark, you said?
Yeah, so Vincent in, and then there's a question mark since probably
Well,
she does not remember.
it was said by a character named Vincent, yes. Another actor in that movie and in that scene is Uma Thurman.
Rosebud says, I remember Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, that's it. Pulp Fiction. My favorite
Excellent.
scene. Oh, that scene is great. There was ever a scene that mesmerizes you is when he's sticking that, you're going to stick that needle into her chest. That's just, what a scene.
Hmm.
Another good line from that is, well, say something. Something. Say that scene took about 2 days to do, if I remember correctly. That's one of the things about movies that people don't realize is that what you see on the screen that you might think that they did it in one or two shots, usually it's a lot more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Because they'll look at the end of the day after the shooting, they'll look through the rushes, and then they'll go back the next day and reshoot some things, and then the cutter's looking at it to see what they can do with it, and
Yeah.
sometimes it just works out perfectly. You got to time those things just right. When you see him, shooting that, bringing his arm down, and you see that needle hit her chest, all that's timing, and it's got to be done right by the cutter too. So you need just the right angles to make it look real.
Mm-hmm. Um, I think I haven't seen Mander today. Ah, there he is, with behind the shook bird again.
Yeah, and the voyeur bird over there,
Yeah, of
Snowball.
course. I mean, surrounded by all these Moluccans.
He's put himself right in the perfect spot to be able to see
Yep,
them all. Yeah.
he definitely likes to sit close to them.
He's been a little more fascinated by Romeo when Romeo is out, but Romeo is he's just afraid of everybody. So
Yeah, I think he hasn't that much contact with Romeo since Romeo is around the corner from his cage, so they have no direct eye contact or something like that.
he had some when we were at that place, temporary place, but when we would
Oh,
go out in
let's
the
see.
aviary, Romeo used to come out there.
From
But
comment from Pie Girl. By the way, today is my Pioneer's 11th birthday, so happy birthday. I guess Pioneer's, that's probably the bird.
yes, it is. Happy Hatch Day. In our community, we don't have birthdays. We're all Hatch Days. So
Mhm.
that includes the people who keep the birds too. I don't have a birthday. I have a Hatch Day.
All right. And then a question from Lisa. She apologizes for asking, but what's the cost per month to treat them?
Mm. Uh, if it was just Onsior, I'm guessing about 150 a month. I have to guess because our vet is pretty cool. I mean, she bundles things and puts it under a bulk price. So the only time I ever got Onsior from her separately, or when it was not mixed into other items, or was the time that we got the syringes at the same time. So I'm guessing about 150, but because we got a box of syringes at the same time, and they're not cheap. So that, cost of syringes, that adding the other things in, I'm really just estimating now because I just bought a whole bunch of things to add to this. Yeah, it's probably going to run about 250 a month. I've only had a couple of days to digest this whole new protocol. done a lot of study and a lot of chatting back and forth with Chat GPT. Having it pulled a lot of information from Rossi's team too, and I was able to look at that. So if we can get that other drug made by a compounding pharmacy, it'll probably go up. But and I might put some of them on oral Celebrex. So instead of Onsior, ones that are on the lower end of the scale. Are you going to shake your head and say no? That means yes. Yes means no when he does that. And no means yes. What did you say? You said yes? Okay.
Oh, did we lure Mander over?
Yep. What's up, Mander? What's up, Mander?
Oh, thanks, Lisa. She is going to help us with that. So you are all helping us when you're members here on YouTube, Patreon, or on our website. We are so glad we have you. The community helps so much.
Yeah, it does. It's nice knowing you're out there when I'm having to go through all this. But I figured quite, I knew two of them were going to come back. I mean, my gut told me that Romeo and Lucy were going to come back because they have certain signs of it. Lucy has a little trouble moving her feet. She looks at her feet like she's got neuropathy. And then with Romeo, he has balance issues and he shakes a lot. So, yeah, I said your name. So I figured those two, but I didn't actually think Mander would have it.
No, with Mander, I was also surprised as well with Sugar.
I wasn't quite as surprised with Sugar because I'll go to give her her medicine in the morning and I just come up with a stick of that has almond butter on it and her medicine mixed in. And when I bring up the stick, she'll jump. There's no reason for her to do that. So I thought maybe she's got some kind of nervous affliction, which would probably be AGN, right? So. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they ran a test on every bird that's in captivity and we ended up with about 50-50 mix. Unstressed birds, probably not, but I don't know. Well, thank you guys. It's time for me to see if they'll terrorize me without the phone. So
Certainly.
thank you, Amy, for moderating. And Mander, you going to say thank you to Amy?
Yeah, and best wishes, healing thoughts to Eleanor
Yeah,
and her
Eleanor,
hatchling.
that's
Right.
the problem. You get kids, you get sick because kids just they don't have a good immune system. So
Yeah, they have to train their immune systems. They basically catch what they can.
unfortunately. Okay, guys, we will see you on Wednesday, and we're out of here.
Bye bye.
Science knowledge only adds to the excitement, the mystery, and the awe of a flower.
Evidence is evidence. It's public. Everybody can look at the evidence and assess it, and eventually, if there's enough evidence, come to the same conclusion.
The Chloe Sanctuary for Parrots and Cockatoos, a nonprofit charity dedicated to the empowerment of captive parrots and public awareness.